All right. Are you ready for even more intense experiences with crystals? Yes, all right. Did you like the mandala practices? Were you surprised at what you could do? I was. So, well, I want to talk to you this segment. We're going to do, if you decide you want to do it. My intention is that by the end of this segment, we will have time to do another mandala. In the meantime, we're going to talk about and meet and work with all the different varieties of Azeztulite. So I've been kind of saving. We've been building up the energy as we go through the weekend. And what's going on right now is that people are passing among you, handing out necklaces of Azeztulite and Rosophia. And you can put them on if you want to, but we're going to actually tune into them at some point here. So your choice. This is in the same sense. These are loners, just like the stones in your bag. But I wanted to be able, and we will look at what the two stones feel like separately and together, because there's a relationship between them that's a big part of the work that I'm doing, and that I feel is the kind of the centerpiece. So you just want to make sure as they do it that everybody at the table has got one of each. Some of the pink ones will have little strings that hang off of them because we didn't get them strung quite the way we wanted, but they still work for the energy purposes. Okay. How many of you know about Azeztulite? Like quite a few. And you know that the white stone we've been working with, or not working with yet, but that some people decided to sleep with the night early, is Azeztulite. And I'm going to talk about that stone, how it emerged, how it came to us, and this, what to me is a very wild and interesting story. In about 1991, we were in Vermont. We just moved here. In our shop, we had our business in our attic. We had just moved to this house, and it had not grown to be like what it is right now. We had the business in the attic, and people were coming to work, and we were all just going upstairs and working all day. And there was a woman who I did not know very well, whose name is Naisha Azian. You may recognize that name because she's the co-author of the Book of Stones with me. But at that point, we had only just known each other a little bit. She had come into our retail store in Massachusetts as a customer. And the first time she came in, she picked up a Moldavite and got so energized we had to hold her up. And she went into the back room. Kathy did a healing on her and gave her water because she was gonzo. That's how sensitive she is. And so we got to know each other through that and through different meetings over the years. And she turned out to move to Vermont the same year we did, although we hadn't communicated to each other about that fact. So that first fall that we were in Vermont, Naisha gave me a call one day, and she said, "I've got to come and talk to you." I said, "Okay." And when she got there, she said, "I don't know, I'm just going to say this. I've been in touch inwardly with a group soul angelic being, and because of what happened when I talked to them, I need to come and see you." And so this story is that in her work, there was like a kind of a telepathic link established with her, and she was in touch with these beings that called themselves Azez. And the word Azez means, according to what they told her, it means nameless light, the nameless light of the great central sun. And Naisha said, the reason that I'm supposed to talk to you is these beings serve the energy of the nameless light of the great central sun. They're not physical, they're etheric beings. They travel through the universe, so they tell me, establishing energy grids on planets that are ready to make the evolutionary leap to the next level of spiritual awakening. And they're here because the Earth is at that point of the tipping point of being ready to go over to that level. So that was exciting to hear, although I didn't know how much of it I could really believe. I was just listening. So she she told me that they established themselves at energy vortex points, that they were at Bell Rock in Sedona and Mount Shasta in California and in the Adirondacks in New York and in the Himalayas as well as southern India, different points on the globe where there were energy openings. They established themselves to ground the spiritual energy of the highest frequency that comes from the great central sun, which I understood from her talk to be the spiritual center of the universe, not the physical center. And the spiritual center of the universe is non-local. It's everywhere and nowhere all at once. It's it's holographic. It's a bit like some of the things we were looking at today. Anyway, Naisha said, the reason I'm coming to see you is that the Azez told me that I need a special piece made in order to open up my energies. And my friend needed a special piece made to open up her energies. And this piece that she wanted me to make was containing moldavite, phenakite, tanzanite, danburite, and azeztulite. And I said, I'd love to make that for you, but I don't know what azeztulite is. And she said, don't worry, the Azez told me that if you don't have it now, you will soon. And she described it. She said it will look like a kind of rough-shaped white or transparent stone. It won't be called azeztulite in earthly language, and you're going to receive it. I don't know how, but that's what they said. So I was all for that. And she said, look for it. You're supposed to look for it. So I called people I knew in the mineral business, and none of that really bore fruit. And of course, nobody had heard of that word. And I was still going onwards. Well, anyway, the story kind of the pace picks up here. The week that Naisha came to see me, a friend was visiting, and she wanted a big, big piece of phenakite that I had. But it was $1,200, and she said, I can't afford it. So she went home to Arizona, and as soon as she got home, she called me and said, I have to have it. So I said, okay, I'll go get it for you, and we'll send it out. Well, I went to my desk where the phenakite was always kept, right next to where I had my papers, and it wasn't there. And I was, $1,200 phenakite. Where is that? And I started looking, looked through everything I could find. No, not there. I called her back and said, it's not there. And she said, well, can you keep trying? And I said, okay, I'll do that. And meanwhile, Naisha was calling me every few days saying, did the azeztulite come yet? And I finally said, no, it hasn't come yet, but I've lost something. Could you help me try to find it? And I, tune in. And she said, sure, I'll try. So I told her about the phenakite. She tuned in. She called me the next day, and she said, I've got interesting news for you. I talked to the Azez about this, and they told me that they borrowed your phenakite. And that they're using it because part of this agenda of theirs in activating a stone to carry the frequency of the nameless light required the utilization of a high-frequency stone, phenakite. And so they borrowed yours. They'll give it back when they're done. And the clue was, look for it in a box in an odd place. So, that was interesting. And I went to through the boxes, and we moved out of our attic to a building we had gotten rented down the hill from where we lived. And we were, in and out of boxes with everything, right? And this period was 3 months in the doing. And by the time we got in and established and moved in, still hadn't found the phenakite. The azeztulite hadn't showed up. And then one day, a package arrived in the mail from a complete stranger, a guy in North Carolina, who said, I saw that you have an advertisement that you buy phenakite. And I mined this stuff 25 years ago in North Carolina, and I've kept it in my garage all these years. I haven't tried to sell it to anybody, but I feel like I should sell it to you. And so I took a look at it. He sent a box, and I took a look at it through that box, and there were these weird, clearish, whitish, odd-shaped little stones, but they had energy like, it was the strongest energy I'd ever felt from a stone, and it was all high-frequency energy. It wasn't all in my head. It actually made my whole body tingle inside and out if I handled it for more than a few minutes. And so I thought, well, maybe this is the azeztulite. So I had Naisha come over, and she took a look at it and felt it, and she said, that's the Azez. You have to buy it. And I said, okay. The man wanted the price of phenakite, and if you've all looked at it over there, that's not inexpensive. And And the thing is, I did a specific gravity test on the stone to try to figure out what it was, and specific gravity test said, well, this is the same specific gravity as quartz. But I'd never felt quartz like this before. And Naisha said, that's the awakened quartz. That's Azeztulite. That's why you get that it's quartz physically, but it's not like anything else. This is the stuff they woke up. And this is the stone that carries that energy. You just have to do this. So I did. And we made the piece, and, you know, all that sort of started rolling. And then over the years since then, 15 years, maybe a little more, more, 18 years, thousands of people, I mean many thousands, all over the world have connected with and gotten these stones and are working with them in just the way Naisha predicted, which is to ground the light of the central sun into the earth so that the grid of the whole planet will receive both the healing that the earth needs and the awakening that the earth is destined for and that we're destined for with it. So, you know, this is a wild and outlandish story. It's very commonplace to me today, but in those days it was really a lot to take in. But I started taking Azeztulite around with me to shows and places like that, and people who had never seen it before would pick up a piece and start crying and saying things like, "This is my home," you know. And I mean, that happened a lot. You know, so many synchronicities. Last day of the Tucson show, we were packing. We get a phone call in the showroom at the hotel, and a woman is on the phone. I'm on my way there. I'm driving. I don't know what I need, but my guide said I have to get it. You have to keep it open for me. So we stayed open, and, you know, it was the Azeztulite necklace. And she was one of the ones who immediately wept when she touched it. So there are a lot of dramatic things like that that have happened, and a lot of much more subtle things like that that have occurred, and it's gone out far and wide. Now in Japan, Azeztulite is probably the most popular metaphysical stone in the whole country. And it's hilarious, but they, you know, everybody that's in this stuff in Japan knows who I am because of that stone. So when I go to the Tucson show, many Japanese owners of stores come and do a pilgrimage to meet me there, and to get Azeztulite. And of course, I'm delighted because one thing I've noticed in all the years of doing this is, for some reason, the people of that culture are so attuned to the highest frequency leading edge things that it's just amazing to me. And it's been phenakite, dambarite, Azeztulite, all of the highest vibration stones they know somehow. So they've been a great help to me and a great sort of confirmation of the work. Yes. The phenakite, she says, what happened? What happened was the same week that the Azeztulite came, a few days later, I reached under my desk into my phone message box to get my phone messages, and there was the phenakite. And that was a box I was in every day, and it wasn't in there the other days. And the funny thing was that not only did they put it in a box in an odd place, just like Naisha told me, they put it in a box, a meaningful box, like, well, do you get the message? So that's this, you know, this, I tell the story of these stones because of all the stones that I'm working with, this and Rosophia, these are the ones that I feel kind of the most sense of personal mission about getting them out there. And also, I'm the most grateful for what they've done. I want to say something, I want to quote for you something that Naisha has said about it, and then we're going to start working with them. Because, you know, the story was important to give you the sense of how mysterious the arrival of this is. And there's a lot more to say about it that I could say, but, you know, we've only got 3 hours, this segment. So Naisha said, the beings, meaning the one this is something she wrote to me, the beings have said we may call them Azez. From what I understand, their reason for being centers on anchoring the nameless light onto planets and into societies coming under the influence of that energy. The word Azez seems to mean both nameless light and the embodiment of that light in the universe, which is the great central sun. The stone Azeztulite is not only for communication with the Azez, it also holds and channels the energy of the nameless light and its manifestation from the great central sun. These beings have bases all over the world at energy centers known and unknown to us, including the Andes, the Himalayas, the Adirondacks, and other mountain ranges, as I said. Then this is what the Azez said to her, part of it. Interdimensional travel involves pulses of energy in the universe. These pulses act as bridges. Have you ever held a piece and felt that pulsing? If you didn't, some of you are nodding. We'll see what comes there. Here enters the stone Azeztulite. It is used by us in creating channels for our communications. On each base or planet we inhabit, we've chosen a stone to be the anchor for these channels. That's just like what I was saying. After some manipulation and alteration, we engineered the stone Azeztulite. It has the capacity to handle the intense energies being carried by it. In our culture, Azez is the term for that which is the nameless light, the embodiment of the great central sun. Please understand the implications of what we're explaining. This stone is the embodiment of the Azez and carries with it the manifest energy of the great central sun. It's a powerful stone. The stone heralds many changes. Then they go on, this stone will enable those of you who are telepathic windows and dimensional engineers to begin to reclaim the knowledge of these practices. We will now begin to make ourselves known more fully to those beings to aid in this awakening and transformation. So then the paragraph that's probably the most relevant to what I want to do with this, quote, disease on your planet is the result of certain frequencies of light. You block cellularly these light waves through thought-form shields and contracting emotional patterns. Thought-form shields, remember the merry-go-round of the stress and the repetition? And contracting emotional patterns, fear, anxiety, judgment, all those things that hold us back. Your cellular consciousnesses are therefore unable to learn properly and expand, resulting in disease. Azeztulite carries energies and frequencies of light that help release the shields and blocks, healing disease and aiding in cellular rejuvenation and expansion. Likewise, its activation at certain points on your planet will aid in healing the total organism of Gaia. So, Azeztulite labyrinth. The real purpose of that labyrinth in our walking it, as far as my agenda is concerned in trying to be of service to this, is the healing of the planet and us. It's one thing. The vibrational opening, the ascension, the light body awakening of us is not separate from the light body, an ascension and awakening of the earth. So, as above, so below, just like in the fractal videos and in the alchemy. That's the sort of profound and a little bit awesome agenda of this. And even as we do it lightly, which is appropriate, you know, those white crystals in that dream with the Rosophia and with the Sophia and the amethyst guy, the ones that said dance or die, I think that was the Azez. They were white, they were quartz, and they were carrying more or less the same message, because the contraction in the cells is the refusal to dance. So, and they say it's regeneration and rejuvenation. Dance or die. So, I mean, they delivered the message playfully, but it's a profound message, and it goes right down to ourselves, as well as all around us in our planet. So, the polarity to hold is to do profound work lightly. All right. Some months after her initial contact with us, Naisha said, she wrote this, Azeztulite speaks to us of alternate realities. As humans, we inhabit a very narrow range of reality. It is as though we walk this earth with blinders on, never seeing the incredible depth and beauty of all levels of reality that surround us. Azeztulite was sent as an ally to aid us in connecting with the other realms around us, enabling us to open to the true scope of perception of which we're capable. The coming age of light is about opening ourselves to these other, more expanded levels of reality. It is about reconnecting with the source of energy that exists beyond us all and is embodied in the great central sun. Azeztulite carries this energy, and when we resonate with it, it shares this broadened perspective with us. From this connection, we will gain a greater wisdom and understanding of the beings that we truly are, beings of light. So, you all know that, right? That the true nature of our being is light. I mean, you know it, even though we still haven't quite worked it out. So one other piece, and then we're going to start working with Azeztulite. We're doing pretty well as far as getting through the information here. While I was researching Stones of the New Consciousness, I found online, I was looking for things about Azeztulite and what other people might be doing with it, and I found that a website that had a quote from an ancient Coptic Gnostic gospel, and that was the Book of Iou, the books of Iou, I-E-O-U, and I-E-O-U is a all-vowel way of spelling the name Jesus. So in that book, I found the word Azezeo, A-Z-O-Z-E-O, and it meant light passing through a crystal. So that sort of gave me the shivers, considering Azeztulite is exactly that, light passing through a crystal. So that goes back, 2,000 years, 1,800 years, something like that. In the book, and this book, the book that it was quoted from is this book, which is in the room there. This is called Jesus Christ, Son of God, but the Son is spelled S-U-N. So this book is actually mostly about sacred geometry and number, ancient cosmology and early Christian symbolism. Astonishing book. They only have one page that has anything about this Book of Iou on it, and that's the page I happen to read online. In that book, Iou Jesus is giving an ascension guide to his disciples. The books of Iou is this almost unbelievably difficult to understand set of instructions on what you do as you ascend in order to make it all the way up. And this is 1,800 years ago. They're talking about this. David Feidler, who wrote this book. Okay, I got to read this part to you. The books of Iou contains not only text but diagrams relating to Iou as the true God. The diagram reproduced in Feidler's text shows concentric squares, text, and a circle divided into 6 pie slices around a small central circle. This pattern is remarkably similar to a top view of a quartz crystal. The text of this diagram page mentions the name Izima Iou, his character, and the names of the 3 watchers, and the 12 emanations. Feidler tells us that elsewhere in his text, quote, Jesus reveals to his disciples the magical names, numbers, and seals that they will need in the afterlife ascent to the realm of light. Here's some of the instructions, quote, and this sounds like gobbledygook, but just let it go in. When you reach the 4th eon, Samelo and Chocho-Chucha, these are limiters hindering the ascension. These are beings that want to hold down the ascension of souls. Will come before you. Seal yourself with this seal. And then there's an image that is like the mandalas we just saw. It's just the schematic of the mandala. It's a cross equal-handed like this and a slant one. So it's an eight lines, right? It's just 8 points. It's like the lines coming from the center going out that would form an octagon if you connected them. So that's the seal. I'd say, a third of those mandalas that were coming through the last fractal thing were 8-sided mandalas. So in any case, that was the seal that you're supposed to make. So seal yourself with this seal. This is its name, Azazeo. So the light coming through the crystal, Azazeo, is what the name of the seal is. It's very esoteric stuff. Say it once only. This will help you, though, when you're ascending, if you remember this. Hold this cipher, 4555, in your hands. When you finish sealing yourself with this seal, and you have said its name once only, say these defenses also. Withdraw yourselves, Samelo and Chocho-Chucha. That is the silliest name for a demon I've ever heard, You archons of the 4th eon, because I call upon Zozeza, Chazozaza, and Zazezo. When you have finished saying these defenses, the archons, the limiters of the fourth ion, will withdraw to the left, but you will proceed upward. Now, the interesting thing to me was the similarity of the names of the angelic protectors to the name Azez. We've got Zozeza, Chozozaza, and Zazezo. The third one, Zazezo, even contains the word Azez. So this is from 2,000 years ago almost. If one were to coin a group name for them, it could very well be Azez because it contains similarities to each of their names. Their role is to assist human beings in the process of ascension. The Azez said to Naisha, the earth is ready to make an ascension, and so are we, and they're facilitators of that. The instructions are purportedly coming from Iu, or Jesus, whose mythic role is that of the Son of the Sun. In other words, the personification of the great central sun. So I was so astonished, to find this corroboration of everything Naisha said in this old text that appeared, Google-ish. I mean, it came through Google. I got to thank them for that. So I think I've said enough about this other than, now this is a place I mention sometimes because I think it's interesting, and Kathy thinks I'm wrong. So you decide. One of the mythological names for the central sun, or the black sun, in antiquity was Isis. Later I found Isis's alternate name is Aset. So both of those sound rather, sonically like Azez. Isis, Azez, Aset, Azez. Isis was a black goddess, the original goddess from which the Black Madonna artworks and spiritual streams have descended. And the Black Madonnas, in turn, are images of Sophia. So the Azez, in fact, the servants of the nameless light of the great central sun, could be seen archetypally as the son of the Black Madonna. In other words, Iu. In other words, the male, the Christed energy of the male light, the nameless light coming down from the mother. So this is all mythological speculation on my part, but the resonance of what goes on with the stone Azeztulite is something you'll be able to feel yourself. And so I just wanted to give you the kind of backstory on those stones because to me it makes them, it's been 19 years, 18 years of working with this and watching more and more amazing things unfold. For one thing that's happened, a number of different types of Azeztulite have emerged, meaning we started off with the material from North Carolina. Naisha told me that more Azeztulite was promised to be discovered. In other words, the Azez say more quartz will be activated and awakened to carry this vibration. Azeztulite is just quartz, but it's quartz that it's carrying this frequency. The ultimate agenda of the Azez is, according to Naisha's latest connection with them, is for all the quartz on Earth to become awakened in this way. I mentioned that the first day. So in other words, when all the quartz on Earth becomes Azeztulite, energetically speaking, we live then on an ascended planet, a planet of light, because this light that we feel in these first representative pieces, and we're the first representative people who are ready and able to receive this and ground it through our bodies. The grounding through our bodies into the earth is the very thing that wakes up the rest of the quartz in the earth for this to happen. We're the embodied beings here. The Azez are not embodied. So in order for the matter of the earth to receive the light, that needs to come through embodied beings. So our participation in this is not just for us. In fact, it's equally for us because it's equally our awakening and ascension, but it's for the earth. And in other words, also to me, to take in this energy and offer it down through my body for the benefit of the world is like the best service I can do. And there's nothing to stop me. Like the CIA is not going to stop me. Nobody's going to stop me from doing this. And it's a funny idea, because the thing that will overthrow everything contracted, negative, and fear-based about the planet is the light infusion and the love and awakening that will open up. All of that contraction, in my vision, will be dissolved by the not conflict, but allowing that energy which is offered to pour through us into the earth, and our invitation to every other piece of quartz in the earth to wake up and be like this. So I plant them everywhere I go, right? I throw them on beaches, I put them in streams, and even when I don't have one with me, if I'm like in New York City and I go down the street and there's a granite building, I'm like, become Azeztulite, hurry, come on. And when Justin and I, and I want you to do that too if you're into it. I mean, it's like the invitation is what's required, because love is what this light is. And love will never force itself on you. Love won't force itself onto the earth, even though it knows it's good for the earth. Love can't force itself, because then it's not love anymore. So we need to make the invitation in order for the flow to occur, and to make it again and again and again, just the way Sophia repeats and repeats and repeats her creative gestures. So, I have a lot of Azeztulite, so I make labyrinths, and I do this spreading around, and I talk people like you into buying pieces of it so that I can afford to give the other ones away. And there's all that kind of thing going on. And it's not necessary to have the stone in order to invite the light. They're a conduit. They're a helper. It's like everything else we've done. They're partners with us in doing the work, and they'll help us do the work if we invite them. And these are the Azez as beings. And I think a few of you have even communicated with them from what I've been told. So there's my crazy story for you today. And it's just crazy enough to work, if you ask me. Thank you. Thank you. So now I think it's a good time for us to meet the Azeztulites. And there have been several kinds that evolved. There's some that came from the Himalayas. There's some that came from southern India. There's some that came from Vermont here. Some from North Carolina. People are starting to bring me stones that they found, and they say, is this Azeztulite? And I hold it up and feel it, and it is. So the excitement of what is happening is pretty real to me, because it's no longer as exclusive as it was. Now it's like, it's starting to happen like popcorn in a pan, So the invitation's important. When you're driving down the highway, ask all the poor quartz that's embedded in the asphalt, wake up, be Azeztulite. Imagine if the highway becomes Azeztulite. Do you think that might fix road rage? So let's get out from our bags. You might as well get all of them out. There's about 5 or 6 kinds. I'll name them for you. There is golden and Himalaya gold Azeztulite, 2 kinds that have the word gold in their name. There's, I believe it just says white Azeztulite, or Azeztulite on the white material. There is Satchel Loa Azeztulite. And there's pink Azeztulite, and there is Sanderosa Azeztulite. These all each came from a different place. Let's start. We're going to do 6 really short, just meeting the being meditations. We're talking about 2 minutes per meditation, okay? Because we want to meet each one of these, and then we're going to do a longer 5-minute meditation where we're going to invite the nameless light, and we're going to use all of them at once, okay? So to begin with, we'll use the white one, the regular Azeztulite. You can use the great big one or the small one that says white Azeztulite. And we'll just do the usual thing that we've learned to do. We'll place our attention in our heart. Actually, you know, there's the white necklaces too, aren't there? Why don't you all put those on for this one? All right, and you still use the stone. Still use the stone. So you'll hold the stone over your heart for the beginning at least, and you'll do the invitation and the offering of self. With the stone, you'll do the breathing like we did with Rosophia, just for, 15, 20 seconds. And then at that point, you'll invite the stone being to reveal its nature to you. And you just do that as an inner question. And you feel in your body what's occurring. And you see what's occurring to your inner eye. And you listen. And then during that time of about 2 minutes, you'll go through that and just remember. And then as soon as you finish, write down on your journal, or if you don't have your journal, write down on one of those pieces of paper that's there anything that you want to remember about that. We're going to go real quick. It's going to be like a minute to write it down after you do this. So ready? Close your eyes, do the inviting, and then invite the being to reveal its nature and purpose to you.
I asked how I could embody the Azeztulite, and it said, "Spread me around, give me away. Yes, I will speak to you. Wear me daily, drink of me freely." So I guess I'm going to make some infusions.
Very good. Who else? I saw a hand over here, didn't I? Christine? Oh. Having a moment there. If you see that other mic piper, we could have two. Okay.
When I welcomed the stone, the being, I saw an immense, soft and beautiful white angel, goddess of great light, shining on all things. And she said, "I speak, I am, through the light of the world, I am the light of the universe, I am."
Oh. Anyone else care to say something? Yes, come over here to her.
The Azeztulite appeared to me like a crown with tall arching points with little drops on top that functioned as an antenna. And the sensation was to bring that energy gained through the information gained through the antenna down through my feet.
Exactly so.
The Azeztulite told me the first purpose was to help expand our human auras to be able to absorb more light, vibration. I could see my aura expanding. And the second message was the activation of our Kundalini energy.
Activation of Kundalini.
And strengthening.
Beautiful. There's another.
Here's one here.
Okay.
I came here after a very serious operation. And today I've had more pain than since I've been here. And it's really stood in my way. And so I'm acquainted with the angelic realm and the angelic vibrations. And I closed my eyes and I got surrounded by their light. And it was so incredibly beautiful. And it was white and very soft but strong and very, very comforting, exceedingly sustaining, and calmed my entire being until my soul was on their level.
Wow.
And it protected me in a cloud of peace. And I felt totally protected. And they whispered and they told me it would be okay. And I said, could you make it okay now and take care of my knee? And they said, okay.
Wow.
And they lifted the pain from my knee.
You removed the pain from your knee. You know, that goes back, that last piece goes back to what I said at the very beginning that I didn't even know I was going to talk about, which was the true cry from the heart. Remember about May Day, true cry? I've got goosebumps saying this to you. She gave her true cry by asking, and they said yes. When it's the true question from the heart, with all of your being in the question, that's how you're able to be met. So it seems to me. So who wants to say something now?
I got activation as well, and they told me that I need to use the stone on 3 places on the body, and to incorporate it with 3 other stones, and to use it as an activator and a clearer, to clear out old stagnant energy that's stuck for a long period of time. So.
Wow, thank you. All right, one more. Okay, 2 more then. Okay, that's it.
I've done a lot of earth energy work with a friend of mine, and we had some interference recently, and we stopped doing it. And as soon as I connected with the Azez, they started telling me that Debbie and I now could go back to doing the work that we were doing, that we were anchoring the light into the grid and into the earth and joining it, and that they would stand by and enforce all that we were doing. At the same time, I was getting this visual of a moving mandala, like the videos we had. And I get this when I meditate sometimes, but it's like somebody will bring a rose up into my vision, and the petals unfold, and they're usually red with black in between the petals, and it just comes up and it unfolds, and then it comes up and it unfolds, and it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger as I go.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't had that in a while, so it was a validation of everything they told me. So I've got some more work cut out for me now. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, last one, and then we've got to go on to the next stone.
The message that I had was, it felt for everyone, for the universe. And as soon as I held the stone to my heart, the stone energy told me that I am, meaning the Azeztulite, I am the crowned god of the crystal passage. And then I waited, and then the other message that came through was through the single heartbeat, I speak to you all.
Through the single heartbeat. All right.
Robert, can I say one thing?
Yes.
So 3 weeks ago, I made some Azeztulite elixirs under the full moon in my crystal bowls in the Kootenays, which is in the west coast of Canada where I live, in the mountains where there's not a lot of electromagnetic interference. And for some reason, I brought 4 bottles of the mother elixirs, so I'm going to go get them if anybody wants to check them out.
Mm. So just find that woman. All right, let's try another Azeztulite. Let's try the Sanderosa Azeztulite. That's the one with the little black and reddish speckles. Take the white necklace off for this. Yeah, take the necklace off so we'll just get the energy of this one. Sanderosa. It's got its name because it was found on Sanderosa Road in North Carolina. Yeah. This Azeztulite has inclusions of spessartide garnet and mica in it. And the synergy of the awakened quartz and those two stones makes for a different vibration, although they're all in the family, as you're going to see, of the Azeztulite. So let's do the same thing we just did. You're going to close your eyes and you're going to do the heart gesture of invitation and offering. And then you're going to spend 2 minutes asking for the being to reveal its nature and message. All right? Are you ready? I'd like to do another short meditation with the pink Azeztulite. All right, so who has something to say to us about either the Sanderosa or the pink and how that was different, or how, whatever you want to say about that? There's someone right here. Raise your hand high so they can see you. She's coming with a microphone. Here, she's there, yeah. Hold it up, yeah, there you go.
I got an overwhelming sense of love, and I could feel my heart just expand. And the being said, I am here for universal love, I can heal all hearts.
Say that louder to the mic.
It said, I'm here for universal love, I can heal all hearts.
Wow. Which stone was that?
The pink Azeztulite.
Pink Azeztulite, I guessed. All right, who else would like to share something? Way over there. Who's got your hands up, right?
I don't need a microphone after you now. I just got a quick, very clear message, and it probably is great for a lot of people who use cell phones, but it was, put it in your ear, like make earrings out of it, and this is the Sanderosa. And it was just really like go today and get your ears pierced and put it in your ear.
That's great. Now, before we do another one, you can come over here, Justin, and bring her the mic. Oh, no, Piper's right there with the mic. Never mind. Who else is going to be next? Okay, come on up here. Oh, there? All right, then you can. It's fine. You find somebody back there with their hand up. Before we even have anybody speak, I want to mention that Sanderosa Azeztulite is the stone that has helped me a great deal with personal healing. I find it to be somewhat more grounded than the white Azeztulite, and there's something about that garnet and mica that helps my body. I've had a lot of digestive issues. That's been my weak spot. And one day when I was with Justin in New Mexico, I had cramps. I thought I had food poisoning, and I had no medicine or anything. I had this Sanderosa Azeztulite, and I put it on my stomach. And these intense cramps and nausea just went like in a minute. Well, 5 minutes. But I was astonished, and it's worked for me a number of times with that. I pass that on because you may want to try it if you have those kind of issues, or try it in any health issue that has to do with a weak area of your physical self. Now, who's speaking? There.
With the pink Azeztulite, I noticed just the energy of forgiveness, and the awareness of all the feelings in my body, and a really, really tingly sensation in my fingers and toes, a lot more than the others.
Very good. Okay, and was there anybody else at that table? Yes, you? Pass that over to her.
Well, I got very similar messages to the two ladies. I had for the pink Azeztulite, a big heart, and the message was to spread love, to love unconditionally what is and what is not seen, what is seen and what is not seen. And for the Sanderosa, I actually felt my ear clogging, and I thought, wow, what's going on here? And the message was to listen and speak the truth in the world. So the same ear with that Sanderosa.
Somebody else you got something with the ear too? And you got music. Say it again. I am the music of the soul. So she's got one. Let's pass the mic there. And then do you have someone back there in a minute, Justin? Okay, as soon as this one's done.
For the Sanderosa Azeztulite, I felt a spiral energy And what I was told was that it was to ground your intentions for creation.
Spiral. Right. Justin.
With the Sanderosa, I felt nature. I felt the woodlands and the breezes and being outdoors. And for the pink, I started to do these circular movements. I could feel it inside my head, and also my spine just started to do little circular movements up and down.
Wow. All right. One more, and then we have a break. What? Yeah?
For the Sanderosa Azeztulite, it came to me, it also opens the auric field like the white, but also a very concentrated force inside the body.
Would you repeat that? Start again. Close to the mic.
It opens your auric field like the white, but also very concentrated force inside the body due to the garnet, long distance communication, and time travel, healing of internal, inside, and out.
Healing of internal or eternal?
Internal, inside and out.
Got it. All right. I think that this is a good time for us to take a break. One more. All right, we got one more. She's got to do it. I mean, I'll stay here all afternoon if you want. You know, I like this.
We love to dance, the
Would
feminine.
you put the microphone near you?
We love to dance, the feminine. Keep the birth up, the beauty once more to move. The gift of light for the rivers is my blood. The spirit is the truth. And the spreading once of the light will lead us from the darkness that will fall. Once the light has shone, move into the new world.
Beautiful. Was there one other over here that was waving before? That's you. All right. Now, these messages are for all of us. I mean, I'm sure you got that.
For the Sanderosa, I've had problems with an ear and my throat, and I felt this huge column. It was as if my head was pulled way, way up, and then the throat was contracted and as if it was really working on the ear-throat area. And for the pink, I felt it would be really good. I'd go into birth with mothers as a birthing stone, and working with the babies, the new babies that are coming in.
Oh, that's great. Thanks for that one. All right. Well, we'll try to, let's see. I want you to take a break and relax and get ready to do some more work when we come back. Profound work done lightly, dance or die. I think it's really helpful, and I'm very grateful to people for being willing to talk about their experiences as we do these meditations, because it reinforces for everyone what's going on, and it also actually brings it into the world when we articulate it. It isn't just a matter of the fact that we experienced it inwardly, but when we speak it, the words go out, and like we noticed earlier when I said I can make everybody have an image and said elephant, and you got one. The same is true of all these things that we're speaking of here. There's a certain magic that occurs when we communicate images to each other by speaking. You know, and in fact, I think I might have said this before, but image and magic have the same root, and so does mage, you know, the magi. So the magi, the magic, and the image are all coming out of the same word. So when you have an image, you could say, I am a magician, I mage. And you pass that image to other people, and it conjures it in their consciousness. Now, there's something even deeper about that, because when we speak our truth enters the world, it enters the ears and the consciousness of whoever it is that is aware of what we just spoke, and it grounds it that much more into the world. Even talking about the properties of Azeztulite and other stones and feeling those properties and letting someone else know, I at least believe it grounds that very set of qualities more deeply into the stone so that it's actually more accessible for other people. That's how much magic is done in the everyday activity of talking, let alone all the other things we do. So it's part of doing profound work lightly. You don't do it carelessly, but lightheartedly, and you bring that in when you do the magic of communication. Just an interesting thing. So now we're all back, and I want to have you pick up your Satchel Loa Azeztulite. That's the kind of a frosty colored one, sort of roundish, and it's in the bag that has that name on it. And we're going to do that same sort of meditation that we did before. I'm going to recommend to you in this case that you hold the stone up to your third eye chakra. Pardon me? This is from India, the Satchel Loa Azeztulite. This is a little bit of an interesting story. The Satchel Loa Azeztulite comes from central India in an area near a monastery called the Satchel Loa Monastery. And originally, when we got a piece, the way we got it is somebody came to us at the Tucson Gem Show and said, I'm a disciple of the guru of the Satchel Loa Monastery, and the monks there go out and gather these crystals, and they believe these crystals carry the white light of enlightenment, and they want us to bring these crystals into the world to spread that energy. And they asked me to find somebody to spread them around, and it's you. So it was literally handed to me across the countertop, and the woman said, do it. So we began with that. And then we ran out after a while. She made several trips and got them for us and so forth, and then she left that area, and so we didn't have a supply. And it took several years to find a friend in India who was able to source the stones, but we did just in the last couple of years, and that's what these are. And these are actually found in the dry riverbeds, so they've been in water. But it's southern India. Satchel Loa, by the way, is the phrase means the place of truth. Satcha is truth, and loka, like locality, place of truth. So there's something about these stones that resonates with their name, I believe. But let's do the meditation with that. Again, invite it from the heart and offer from the heart. But then unless you're moved to keep it in the heart, in which case do so, try it up on your third eye or even your crown. All right? So we'll have about a 2-minute sit with this. So when you're ready, let's take that breath, big cleansing breath. Long exhale. Center your attention in your heart and begin that mutual breathing invitation. After you open your eyes, write down your notes. Place it up on that upper chakra if it feels right.
To me, it was a very high vibrational stone. Just holding it in my heart, immediately it went right to my third eye and shot up. Mm-hmm. And it felt almost like it was sealing my whole aura, like my whole auric field felt like there was something all around it. Mm-hmm. I could feel the energy of Kuan Yin and the Ascended Masters. Just feels very high vibrational and like, what else is there to say?
Yeah, I got that. How many of you got that high vibration feeling from it? More than others even, right? Yeah? That is a signature quality of Satchel Loa Azeztulite for whatever reason. Did you want to speak?
This is the one I really connected to. I just got a couple of words from the other ones, but it was funny. As I was connecting, my hands felt hot. I felt warm, and then the song "We Are the World."
No.
Oh. Everybody, we are the world, and it said, but we are the world. You are the children. Were the words. We are the world. You are the children.
Wow. I was just going to, the next, you speak next. You speak next.
It said, run, don't walk. This is it. Be the now.
Run, don't walk, what?
Don't, and then be the now.
Be the now. Well, that's a pretty good piece of advice.
So.
Go.
I can't believe, I'm blown away that we got the same thing. I'm thinking, why is this song singing in my head? I said, okay.
Put the mic to your mouth closer.
Okay. the one thing that I got was this song, and then the yellow hands holding the globe. But then there's a choice we're making. We're saving our own lives.
A choice we're making. We're saving our own
That's
lives.
one of the lines in the song.
Is it? Oh, really? Wow. Well, we're getting more musical synchronicity. Yeah, he's got one.
Well, okay. I just got Central Star, Rainbow Light.
And he just told me during the break he never gets anything. You had one, Piper. Did you have somebody? Yeah, okay.
Yeah. And in line with the song and the high vibration, it's a mental energy, particularly communication, connecting to the temples or connecting to the mind.
Communication. Yep. And I agree with that about it's the most mental of them to me too. Would you go over there? Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a couple people over there.
I got clearing, bringing back the beginning of time, timeless.
Say that again.
Bringing back the beginning of time, timeless. Healing knows no time. The secret is revealed. You are the healer, the divine healer. Learn from other beings. They are here to teach you. Here, now, at this instant, waves of beings.
Waves of beings?
Beings.
Yes, waves of beings. You see that image, everybody? There's one over there. Yeah.
I had some beings of pure white light energy above me, and they had a hologram of white light energy hovering over me that I could tap into at any time, even if I don't have the stones with me. And the only saying that came into my mind was, when you speak from the heart, you speak the truth.
Anybody? Yes, two here. And I don't know who you saw, Piper. If you have somebody, you can go.
Okay. Okay. First, I had two images. The first was a beaded chandelier, and that became a curtain of the clearest crystal beads of goddess frozen tears. And then the clearest crystal beads of goddess frozen tears. And then the second image was similar, but these crystal beads were green crystal beads with a gold filigree that was both the crown of green Tara and a curtain around her.
Okay. I heard, this is the Buddha way. Step into my palace, the rainbow awaits you. And I saw a rainbow.
Saw a rainbow?
Yeah.
Wow. All right, now you.
I got Sai Baba.
Sai Baba.
And Sai Baba offered me liquid light. And it said, we are here and we've been coming and we are coming now. Liquid light, illumination, always be ready. The world is ready to see the truth now.
Wow. All right, pass to her. She's got her hand up.
I saw a group of beings, and one stepped forward and said, "You know me, I know you, I am you, and you are me. We are one always."
Wow. Is there, yeah, Piper? Yeah, who you got there?
I got you will see with the eyes of the heart. And then I began to cough. And I received, I will connect your heart, throat, and third eye so that you will see clearly, feel and love deeply, and speak your truth from a place of endless love and light.
Wow. All right. Nice. All right. I think we're ready to go to the next stone. Let's do that. We're going to have, the next one is going to be the Himalaya gold Azeztulite. We're going to do that, and then we'll do the other golden one. I've kind of saved these to the end because one of the things that I feel is going on with the great central sun energy is that the great central sun's illumination inwardly is a golden white light. And at times, some interesting things happen with that golden white light when we work with these stones. So take the Himalaya gold one. It's a heart shape, I believe. Probably good to put it over your heart. And we'll do the practice we've been doing. And after a couple of minutes, you write some notes, and then we share. So, ready? Let's go. So the last one is the golden Azeztulite crystal. And we'll follow that pattern we've been following. With that particular crystal, my strongest way to sense it myself is to take whatever the end is with the point on it, and I put the point right up to the third eye. Not sideways or anything, but just the point, barely, lightly touching me there. I don't know if it's the same for, would be the same for all of you, but if you want to try what I do, after you've invited it from your heart, you might try that. And certainly put it where your intuition tells you, because your intuition knows better than I do. But that's one of the ways that I do it. All right, so let's begin with that. Let's close our eyes and do the invitation. Notice any colors that come to you while we do this, as well as all the other sensing you've been doing. Ready? Begin. How many of you felt those to be pretty strong stones? Yeah. How many felt that one was stronger than the other? How many thought that one was the Himalaya gold? How many thought it was the golden Azeztulite crystal? In an election, we'd have to call in the Supreme Court for this. The golden Azeztulites were found in North Carolina about 3 years ago. There was one little mine that was discovered there, and kind of synchronistically, like the first Azeztulite, different miner, but he came to, I ran into him literally outdoors at one of the gem and mineral shows. He was going one way, I was going another, and he had some of the crystals, and I checked them out, and I said, how many more of these are there? And we ended up with that whole, everything that came out of that mine. And it wasn't much, but it was, a few hundred stones. But they're some of the strongest I've ever come across, and they're the only Azeztulites that have come in points, with the exception of a few little ones from Vermont. All right, I want to hear what happened. I want to hear what's going on with this stone. You wanted to say something. Piper will get over to you. She's coming.
Hi. I found this stone to be very talkative and very strong. So I placed it on the third eye as directed. And I had been having a lot of TMJ the past couple months, a lot of jaw pain. And I've been to different therapists and stuff, so I'm working it out. As soon as I put it here, it directed me to go to the jaw and said that it would heal the TMJ if I placed it there. And I did, and I could feel it pull a lot out. And then it directed me to put it on the occipital ridge, right in the center.
The occipital ridge.
Yeah, right
Okay.
in the back. And it told me that it was it would align the brow chakra with the penile, the pituitary glands both. And it said to me, I am a healer stone for healers. Use me to free up constrictions in your physical body everywhere.
Mm. That TMJ thing is very interesting, and it happened right on the spot that that's quite amazing. This point back here I mentioned before, it is connected to the third eye and through the midbrain, and it's a really important connection. Remember that story I told you about 18 years old and that first awakening? It was that occipital point where the pop occurred and the light entered, and they call that in some occult traditions the mouth of God chakra. So do try some of these stones, especially Azeztulite, at that place on your, when you have time. Who's next? There. Okay, and then over here after that. First there.
This was for the Himalayan golden.
Yes.
I got the message, we are as a group preventing natural disasters on earth by the light we are putting into the earth on this day. Blessed be.
Wow. Okay, another one there, and then we'll do you.
It followed hers. I had nothing with the Himalayan gold, but then when we did the golden, I was taken immediately down a black tunnel where I was exited into this void where there were green hands holding the world. And the voice said, the world is in your hands. Prepare for your destiny.
Wow. Wow. All right, she's been waiting. Let's do this. Then there.
I wanted to mention just the fact that...
Put the mic near your mouth.
I'm sorry. My messages have been short and sweet. So the one that I got for Golden Azeztulite was I saw things immediately shifting and transforming. And what I found very interesting is that I was comparing notes with my mother, and hers was almost exactly the same with...
Just that there's going to be a lot of shifting of the earth, and the earth is going to be realigning itself and cleansing itself and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's very, very clear. Yeah.
Well, this... Fantastic, you said? Yeah. Yes, that coming up. Remember we talked about inviting Azeztulite to, crystal to wake up to Azeztulite. It's occurred to me the other day, the volcano in Iceland is shooting up zillions of tons of ash, which is silica. So invite that to carry this vibration. It's non-local, and it'll spread all over the world. So I don't know how that'll work, but I think it's worth a try. Yeah. Over here.
Okay, what came to me with the Himalayan gold Azeztulite was alchemy. Alchemy of the liquid crystal body matrix. First I saw my dual self in the shadow of the sun of the central great sun. So I saw my dual self, but then alchemy came to me where the gold of the Himalayan gold azeztulite was causing an alchemical process in my body of the liquid crystal body matrix. And it was like a cellular rejuvenation, a cellular regeneration, and that's what I think it does to your body.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's in fact the very message Naisha got about Azeztulite, was that the light enters and regenerates cells that are degenerating because of contraction and being, hurt by negative thought forms. So you got this. You hadn't read that. Oh, that's good. All right, over here. Can you do that? It's amazing stuff, right?
The Himalaya gold Azeztulite, when I held it, it's heart-shaped. When I held it to my heart, it expanded to become larger than me, and I moved into it. It completely engulfed me.
Wow.
And the message I got was, I am a protective shield as humanity moves into the light. I help integrate the incoming light.
I help integrate the incoming light. That's great. Now, there's one, and then I'm going to do her. Yep.
The golden Azez, short and sweet, jewel of the sun, which is the heart, and this is meant to be worn over the heart. It's the message I was given.
That's the golden crystal?
The golden.
Yes, thank you. Jewel of the heart. Ingrid is ready to speak.
I would just like to share my experiences.
Bring the mic up a little closer.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. As soon as Robert asked us to take all of the Azeztulite stones out of the large bag, I was completely, I really felt a huge
surge of emotion just coming up from inside me, and just very pure emotion, not sadness, and actually has a really kind of a sweet quality to it, but very intense. And I felt it coming up, and my usual instinct would be to sort of leave the room and be private with my emotions, but I was really guided to stay in this room and be a little bit outside my own comfort level, which actually a couple of days before coming here I received guidance to kind of be open to that, which is kind of interesting. But right before that happened, before we started the exercise, and we were just kind of starting and all holding our stones to our heart, I felt I was just so happy to be here in this room with all of you, all of us like working with stones and holding stones to our hearts and doing this wonderful kind of work. And I sort of felt like, you know, this is my tribe. Like, if I'm going to belong to a tribe, it's this group of people who are willing to do these crazy things. And also because I was so overwhelmed with emotion, I wasn't doing a lot of these stone exercises. So I got to look around at a lot of you who were with your eyes closed, and it was just so incredibly moving and touching. And I just was guided and also kind of encouraged to share this with you. So thank you.
Stand up and let them see you.
Great. Thank you.
She's been weeping through the whole set of exercises, and it's been a very beautiful thing to see. So, I don't know about these crystal workshops. Oh, do we have another one? Okay, I was just about done, but we'll go because we always go.
Okay, Himalayan gold.
Bring it up to your mouth, yeah.
You're moving into a time to connect to the great central sun. This is in the high dimensions. It connects to the tablets that are written in the light that all will, if they choose, to be able to read. This is coming from my guide Metatron through Enoch's light. Golden azulite, higher console released energy from you. This is the karmic light that attached to you in the year 2008 and 2009. This is not just for myself. The image you saw was a goddess from the time of the serpentine energy that attached itself to all of you. This is another curse. It may have not been in the same time. This is in the 12th chakra, sometimes in the 9th, sometimes in the 7th, sometimes in the 6th. Let's see. This energy is now moving forward, and you will feel a beginning of a lift. This is some of the work that's coming in for not just healing, but you too will be able to connect to Enoch's light and follow this if you choose.
All right, now we do want to move on. I saw your hand, so we'll do it, but this has got to be the last one because we won't get done.
My Himalayan one was when I closed my eyes, I went flying and I saw the Dalai Lama as I went whizzing by him to a mountain with snow with the Buddha on top, the golden ray, and what he said to me, the Dalai Lama says, look up behind him. And there were more golden rays up there, and there was the sun up there, and beyond the sun was even greater golden rays. So that's the first one. The second one I took, and I put it to my third eye, and it hurt. And there's a big face on that crystal. So I just thought, I'm going to do it, what I want to do, not what Robert said to do. So I put it on my third eye, and I saw a huge door with a door and a door and a door, all these doors lined up. And when the lady talked about putting the stone behind her head, I thought, I'm going to try that. So I took the flat stone, put it back there, put the Himalayan one in my third eye, and that door showed up and it opened. So I didn't get to walk into it, but the two of them together are powerful.
Yes.
So thank you. That's
You're welcome. Yeah, that's wonderful. I'm really glad that you spoke. How many of you noticed gold? It's quite a few. Oh, a lot. Inward gold light. So the great central sun's light is golden white light, and the light of healing that my wife Kathy works with is the gold white light. I do think that there's something about that. A few times when we've worked with it, the gold white light has shown up in the room. And so there's this connection to the central sun and that ray. And these two stones, all the Azeztulites carry it. These two stones are the ones I've felt it with the most vividly. So now, can you see why I kind of got excited about Azeztulite? Let's do the meditation with all of them. And we're going to have about 5 minutes for this, and about 5 minutes to talk, and then we'll have 10 more minutes to do one last thing. So put the necklace, not the Rosophia, but the white Azeztulite necklace on, and pick up all the Azeztulites that you can put in your hands and hold them all at once. This is to invite the nameless light into your cells. The Sri Aurobindo and the mother said that the habit of degeneration and death is a cellular habit that is from time immemorial being repeated like a fractal in the body. And that the inviting in of the light of the divine into the cells is the transformation of that old habit into something that's never been before. So it's worth a try. And we have these stones that carry the same light that Sri Aurobindo and the mother were working with, and Satprem, their disciple who I spoke about. So my invitation to you is to hold these stones, invite the nameless light of the central sun to light up in every cell in your body. Your heart, of course, all your chakras, of course, and all the cells in your body. And let open all the doors in all your cells through intention. So we're going to open our heart to this, and we're going to do the invitation. We will have music to go with this one to evoke the feeling of what it might be like for that to happen. And then we'll see where we go with it. So, got all the stones in your hands, close your eyes over the heart, and do the invitation into you, offer your own heart back, and then feel this energy working its way through every cell in your body and setting off the spark of the gold white light of the great central sun in every cell, all 6 trillion. Are you ready to talk about this? Let's do that. Oh, got some hands over there. There's one over there. Piper's, there, you got a bunch over there. Okay, just a moment there. We'll start where she is.
We should get up and dance. This room has been created for the flow of love, and it radiates out for the healing of the earth. To remain still without conscious thought, the efforts will go uneased. So
I ask you to join in and just get up and move a little bit and do a dance and send out love to the earth.
This is one of those dance or die moments, I guess. So I received a message from the Azez just now, and it said that they believe they are much better dancers than we are. But that with practice, we may be able to hold the pattern with them. It's truth. All right. With your permission, if you give me your permission, I'm going to keep you 10 minutes late. Is that all right? This is a kind of an important moment coming up, I think. So if you'll stay with it. All right, let's have a few more comments about this last bit. Piper's going. You can come around too, Christine, if it's possible.
Thank you.
And then somebody on this side too.
Okay.
So who speaks?
Yes. My message was, do not consider yourself unworthy, dear daughter of the universe. Join us in paradise, all earth beings. You are healed. Only consider it, and it is done.
Beautiful.
I didn't get a message, but I held the Himalayan gold and the Satchel Loa at the mouth of God and the rest on my third eye.
Yes.
And I got the impression of searing heat.
Searing heat.
Yes, between the two groups.
And you told me you don't feel things.
And I don't feel things.
Okay.
And I don't feel things.
I knew I didn't believe him. So, all right, another one up here.
Speaking of dancing, I had a really hot butt. My arms and everything started getting really hot, but I saw synapses of light filaments dancing with joy in my whole body. Speaking of dancing.
Now, how many of you felt it cellularly? Oh, a lot, a lot. How many of you saw inner light in your body? A lot. How many felt heat? Right, you're doing it. You're doing it. All right, he's got one. Here comes Christine.
I didn't get a message, but I saw the lights of each stone come in through my crown chakra and just pour through my cells, and saw like a white light probably about 2 feet out from my body or so, just kind of radiating. And I found that using all 5 at once really stimulated the Kundalini energy a lot more than using them one at a time. It was amazing.
That makes sense to me. All right, so there's a couple here and then there.
Okay. I was sitting in a chair, and the 6 light beings were standing around me. We were all enveloped in a column of light, and each one of the light beings was holding one of the stones. And they were quite large. They took up the size of the hand. And as I breathed out, all of them breathed into me, and I could feel it at cellular level.
That's beautiful.
I think this is just amazing, and one of the messages that I keep getting, each and every stone and all of them together, is this is for us. We're doing great work, don't forget the masses. Don't forget the person on the street that has no idea what we're talking about. Just show love and kindness and try to bring them along.
Yeah, there's something that my wife wrote that's in the Stones of the New Consciousness that's called From the Light, and it's about the spreading of the light through meeting each person from the heart and either speaking or simply looking at them in a way that sends a beam of light from you to them, offers it. No insistence, of course. So that is the way that we make the grid that holds it all and raises it. I like that very much. Who had something more? Zarana.
Even though I don't see or feel the energies, what I see the stones doing is reminding us that we're spiritual beings in a physical body and not physical beings reaching for the spiritual. Everyone is spiritual, and it's time to recognize that and be that.
Beautiful. All right. If it's all right with you all, I want to have you do one more thing. And this is really an easy, simple one. This isn't any of that hard stuff. Take off the Azeztulite necklaces. Put all the Azeztulite down. And I'm going to, you can always pick it back up again. Realize how much we did and how far we went in what a short time. We were doing 2 3-minute meditations. If you go home and work with these stones and you sit for 20 minutes or 30 minutes, a lot more will happen. You know, this is an introduction. This isn't the whole relationship. So, according to the way I view these things, Azeztulite is representative and the embodiment of the divine light from what we might call the above, or the heavens, the central sun, reaching down to the earth to give blessing to the earth and to us as residents, as part of the earth. And the Rosophia is the earth's love reaching up to meet the heaven's light. So you could say that the Rosophia is an embodiment of the divine feminine in the earth reaching up. And you could say that the Azeztulite light is like the Christic energy, the Christ light coming down to meet the Sophia. That's one picture. You can change the names. The gesture is what matters. Now, I want you to all put on the Rosophia necklace and feel Rosophia for a moment. And just close your eyes for 30 seconds. I'll call you back. Just want you to get that vibration into your field for a moment. All right, now come back. Even though it was really brief, could you feel the difference? Could you feel that softness and that sweet earth quality of it? So that's her in this view, reaching up, offering love. Now, take it off, put the Azeztulite necklace on. Do the same thing. Close your eyes and tune in to that vibration, that being. All right. Can you feel that one? Do you feel that vibration that we've been working with for the last hour here? So, you feel the difference, right? You feel the frequency of how high that is? Is that right? And you feel the Rosophia. I mean, I don't want to make you feel this, but okay. So now I'd like you to put them on together at once and see what that's like. My experience with it is it's as if the heavenly light reaches down from above and the earth's love reaches up in the middle, and there's a meeting in the heart. All right. How many of you felt something different when they were together? Almost everybody. Do you feel that in the heart? Yes. So, what do you have to say about the way they are together versus the way they are separately? Who will speak about that really fast? Way back there by Christine.
What I saw when I had both of them on together was the vesica piscis, the seat of the soul,
Yes.
the overlapping circles, yes.
The vesica Pisces, right? That's what we called the mandorla before, but if it's vertical, you have one circle up here, one circle down here, they intersect, and where they overlap is that fish-shaped vessel, the vesica Pisces, and that is exactly what I'm talking about occurring in our heart. Our heart is the altar where the divine feminine and the divine masculine meet and become one. And it does, you know, or that the light of the heaven and the love of the earth meet and become one. So you're invited to participate in that sacred union. And certainly these stones are happy to help you. You don't have to have stones. You can do the invitation without that. The stones help. That's their job. They carry the frequencies of the beings behind them. So I say.